in the way of us moving forward together. And because I know that better than most, I have embedded a way for us to overcome that in this program. And if we work this program will work for us. I want to go over those 3 impediments and then let you hear from our task force in the NARAB language about the 5 elements. And then lastly, open this up to questions. So, the first reason why 6,800 Black folks told me that we could not work together and build wealth was trust. That we don't trust each other. And because we don't trust each other, we can't work together. Does anyone feel that way? And so, in feeling that way, what I found was that we've got some choices to make. Underneath trust was a lack of organization. Because we are not organized in what is valuable individually and what is valuable collectively, we hold everything to ourselves. We silo things. But the primary purpose of business is to build wealth, and that requires an economies of scale. So you have true choices. Trust your talent. The 2 economic mindsets in the Black community is you either own your way or you earn your way. You either are on your own, under your own brokerage shingle, and you're selling your own homes with your own enterprise and your own administration, or you're working with someone else in their enterprise and you are earning income. Pick up the torch of either Booker T. Washington or W.E. Du Bois. Do not be confused about what is best for you, because we need you to grow your business. If you can trust yourself and what God has placed in you, in your ability, then we will be able to get to the 2 million. But if you continue to fake it like you want to make it, we won't be able to get there. So trust yourself first, and let's see how the system can work with you. The next part, in light of the trust, here's the real talk. A lack of organization is why a lot of the elements work together. The first element that works together is that element 1 narrows our focus to building wealth through home ownership. Notice, we're not saying we're doing this, we're not doing that, we're not doing this. We're focused on building wealth through home ownership. And that is element 1, embedded in this program to overcome the lack of organization. Element 2 is we're documenting our process. I look forward to a conference where we come together and we're able to share the performance of a local chapter. And you march in and say 1,000 homes, 12,000 homes, and we have documentation. Think about how our partners would react to that. Element 3 is we're organizing the business around the world. The NARAB Challenge allows us to streamline. You're all doing a tremendous amount of work in your local chapters. You answer the question. Are you as efficient as you need to? Local board presidents, are you overworked and underpaid? Are your businesses suffering because your love for the community is growing? And you want to do the best for us, but you're not doing the best for yourself. We're going to organize the work and the business around the work so that starts to change. Element 4 is we are standardizing the message. I know you're eager to run to the community about 2.5 million, but don't run so fast because we aren't together yet. We aren't united. And so we're going to spend the time to get united so the messaging and the branding is standardized so that we show up like the army we are and that our community can trust what we say, because when they hear it from a Darnell and they hear it from a Jeff, it's the same message spoken the same way and doubly relevant for everyone in our community. And then lastly, we're anchoring to outcomes that we believe in. So if we believe in 2.5 million, that means you believe in your business's ability to contribute to that. Can we trust that if we follow these steps, if we adhere to these principles, that we can begin to build greater trust amongst ourselves and greater business amongst ourselves? Is that possible? Can we work on that for year 1? Yes. Excellent. We have overcome the largest barrier in the Black community. The next barrier was capital. People say we don't have enough money. I say fund yourself. When I sit in this community and I look at the 2 different ways that we as Black people have raised money, we either ask for it or we work for it. We have asked for it. We have asked our funders to fund our initiative. Now it's time to work for it. It's time to just look at a Harriet Tubman and say, if she can do it, we can do it too. The capital that is embedded in this program is beyond sponsorship. A lack of stewardship is our issue for why we think we don't have capital. The first element looks at our cultural capital. These funders want to know your purview. How do we debunk the myths in the Black community? How do we get to the Black people who don't know they have a high credit score? Nobody can see the way to getting there but you. And so we are having that intellectual capital and that cultural capital fueling the fire of what this program contains. Element 2 is that we're applying our intellectual capital. The way you're doing business is unique for the Black community, which is decreasing in a time in which we need to increase. You are the expert. And we have to value that expertise as we show up in the market with our members as well as with our funders. Element 3 is the human capital. I need y'all to understand that the only thing God's not making any more of is time and land. So you're selling land, but let's be better stewards of our time. Let's not have a whole bunch of events that don't result in business for you. Let's figure out and prioritize which events add the greatest impact for both our community and your business. And then element 4 is collaborating our social capital. We are going to have a Facebook page. We are going to have a message, but it's going to be controlled so it can be consistent. So our community that has ADD will not forget us after the first tagline, the first hashtag, and the first soundbite. And lastly, we are touching and agreeing in our spiritual capital because we are believing our way to the 2 million 5. This is our capital. We already have wealth and we already can fund this program. But if we steward these correctly, we can overcome barrier number 2. Can we do this, membership?
Yes.
Excellent. The last one, and then you get to hear from our task force. People said we don't have a leader, we don't have a Malcolm, we don't have a Martin anymore. And that's why the Black community is not moving forward. That's why we can't move forward. What I say to you is pick your position. The only 2 eyes that can see what you see are yours. Every single one of you is a leader. There are 3 positions in the Black community. Some of you are frontline. This is Charles Hamilton Houston, who fought to overcome Jim Crow. He didn't stop there. He shared the fact that Jim Crow was just the beginning with his mentee, who led from the middle. He wasn't on the picket lines, but he was in the boardrooms talking with people that some people don't feel comfortable talking to make sure that equality was for us. Some of you are in the back room. This Black man was also a mentee of Thurgood Marshall. He's a constitutional attorney, and he studied in the same school as Charles Hamilton Houston. Pick your position. Some of you will be the most fiercest advocate. Some of you will sit in the rooms with the mayors and the leaders of our cities. And some of you will make some decisions that we won't even know about, but our children's children will benefit from. Pick your position. We need every single perspective to move this program forward. The real talk about leadership is this. The reason why we don't feel that we have leaders is because many of us have a lack of purpose. We are all purpose for such a time as this. We have a unique window of opportunity. When I listen to what the funders said, they are waiting for us to give them the fuel, to light the fire, so they can fund what we need to do to be able to increase home ownership in our community. They are waiting for your leadership, and we have to organize your leadership so it is as potent as possible. Your perspectives matter. So if we can focus on the business goals, when you talk to funders and people in our community, let's be about our business. Let's talk about this business and debunk the myths that it's not worth paying you the commission fee to get a Black person to sell their home. Let's overcome these things that our community doesn't understand because we don't talk to them about business. We talk to them about what we can do to help them, but in helping them, we are helping ourselves. The second thing is we need to learn from experts who have been there. It takes 3 generations to build legacy wealth, only 1 generation to lose it. You have all 3 generations present. When I look at your organization as a whole, your older past presidents started in corporate. Your younger presidents and past presidents have only worked for themselves. Those are 2 different perspectives that are equally important that can help you overcome the barriers that you see in your market. And this program is embedded a way for you to get your questions answered from our board and our leadership so that you don't have to go this alone. Element 3, you got to do what you need to do to grow your business. So if you have received this document, this is the beginning. But what we're asking you to do is forecast the next 12 months. How many properties do you need to sell to get to a level of income that you need? Let's write it down real. And let's figure out how we can work together so that we can get here. And lastly, share your value with your community. Share the time you have, the message you have, and the way you can do it while you are doing your business. And you really want to be a leader in the community. The last thing is push us to get to the 2 million. If there's something in this plan that is a wrinkle or a thorn in your side, I want you to share it with these members and myself. We're not married to method, we're married to outcome. This isn't perfect, but it can be perfected with your input and your contribution. What I'm trying to say is I'm so honored to be a part of this. I am so inspired by President Cooper's leadership, and I love you. If you remember when I first met you, it was Black people, business, and God, Black people, and business that I love more than anything. And this initiative will elevate our standard of business in a way that we really need it to be done. I want to see wealth builders in this room. And when we have wealth builders in this room, we will have 2 million new Black homeowners. God bless you.